Hello and welcome back to my channel. Whether you are a beginner dancer feeling overwhelmed by all of the different movements we have to learn, or an experienced dancer looking to brush up on the basics, this is going to be a great video class for you. I am going to be breaking down some of my most basic and foundational dance movements. These movements are super important for building a strong base in our dance technique that we can then use to grow and evolve as we learn more technique and as we advance in our dancing. So find a nice free space. Let's get started. We're going to be breaking things down one by one. Before we start with our very first move, let's talk a little bit about how the body is positioned. The position of the body is a very important thing to start with when we learn a new dance style, because it's going to change the way that our body moves and the way that our muscles react and create those movements. So the first thing, I want you to rock your weight forward and back on your foot, and I want you to find your weight evenly placed between the front and back of the foot. So you're feeling very connected with the floor, evenly placed weight. The next thing I want you to do is put your hands here on your low belly, and we're going to come in and up and out and back. As you do this movement, you might naturally feel your weight rocking back and forth. 1, 2, 1, 2. What I want is for this to be a little bit of a lift and an opening of the front and the hips. So we're having a little bit of contraction in the low abs. And this lift and contraction hopefully will help you drop your tailbone down and release in the back of the legs. For a lot of my basic hip work, I really like the back of my legs to be relaxed, and I like to power the movements through either the front of my legs or my abdominal muscles. So we're going to do just that in this first movement, which is our very basic hip accent. We're going to be powering the hips in a vertical movement, and this movement is mostly driven from our legs. So get into that position, weight even on the front and back of the feet, lifted in the low belly, extending the pelvis down in the back. I want you to feel like your chest, your hips, and your feet are all in the same line, stacked on top of each other, instead of sitting your hips back behind the body, okay? So staying here, I want you to naturally bend and straighten the knees. We do this movement as natural movement when we're walking. As we shift weight, we bend and straighten the knees, and the body sways side to side. We want to capture this same movement in the legs, but we don't want to have that weight shift back and forth. So I try to even my weight out between my feet. You can put your hands here at your hip crease, and as you bend and straighten, think about each hip pushing straight up and straight down. The spine is going to be nice and isolated, and we're just getting this vertical hip movement up and down as the spine stays straight. Try not to push down into the feet, and try not to weight shift. This is the first most important lesson that we have, and this is isolating the pelvis or the hips. We don't want to see it in the rest of the body, and we don't want to have to use our feet to connect to the movement, because later in more advanced belly dance, we end up doing one rhythm with the hip and a completely different rhythm or speed with the feet. So try and speed it up, doing it on a little bit of a accent or a little bit of a beat. So all I'm doing is I'm doing a sharp movement and I'm holding it for a second. 1, 2, 1, 2. Try to maintain that lift in the low belly. We're really trying not to sit back and start twisting and pushing from our low back and the sides of our body. We're trying to do a vertical hip movement. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This movement turns into a million different variations. We are going to experiment with a few of them, but as we're here, just try speeding it up a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2. We should be feeling this in the front of our legs and our thighs and in our low belly to help hold our pelvis in that position so that we can relax the hips, relax the butt. And as you're doing this, try to lift the arms a little bit in front of the body, so not out to the side because we don't want our shoulders up at our ears. Lift the arms a little bit in front of the body and just try to relax. Keeping stillness in the arms, even weight in the feet as we move through the hips. And you can try speeding it up a little faster. This becomes our first very basic hip shimmy. I'm using my legs to move my hips vertically faster and faster until it becomes a shimmy. So shake it out, and we're going to learn our next movement that is an extension of this move. This next move is one of the most iconic moves in this dance form. Whenever someone sees this, they automatically think Middle Eastern dance, Egyptian dance, belly dance, melody dance, all of these things. It's an extension of our last move. Obviously, there's a million ways you can do this move, but we're gonna learn my favorite way, which has a lot to do with the technique of the last move. So instead of my feet being even, I'm gonna stand with all of my weight on one foot and put the other foot on the ball. So the part of my foot right behind my toes, I'm pushing into the floor. Now in this position, rediscover your pelvic posture. Here it's gonna be important because if we relax our butt back and push here, what happens? We hyperextend, we lock into our knee, which is a really bad place to be. So again, I want my weight even and I want my low belly lifted. This position generally for most people means that your standing leg, it's not gonna be in a plie, but it won't be locked out to the back. We want this knee to be a little bit bent, and we should feel the muscles of this thigh supporting us as we stand on this side. So our feet are like this. For a moment, just so we can learn, drop your front heel, and now the feet are staggered. One is slightly front, one is slightly back. My back foot is a little bit open, so they're not in the same line, but the toes are facing out. Now from here, take a plie and bend and straighten your knees to push the hips back and forth, just like the last movement. All we're doing is changing the position in the feet, okay? Once we get used to this move, I want you to slowly start lifting that front heel and maintaining the same move. You might find that the lifted leg is going to be working a little bit harder to push up and down, but we don't want the standing leg to be totally still. If the standing leg is totally still, I tend to bounce like this here. And we certainly don't want to lock back into the standing leg. So I'm keeping that leg a little bit bent and letting it also move and bend and straighten so that we get nice lifted even posture. We don't get that bounce in the upper body, and we really see the movement in the hip. So lots of moves like this. We can do accent up on the beat, up, up, up. We can do accent down on the beat, down, down, down. This is my base technique for doing this move, but another technique is to use the side muscles. We'll be getting into the side muscles with a couple of our movements later. For now, let's work on moving the hips from the legs. Do you feel the supporting leg yet? We'll give it a break and switch sides. So start the same thing on the other side. Back foot is flat and a little bit turned out. Front foot is facing straight forward and on the ball. Drop that heel just for a second, bend both knees, bend and straighten to bring the hips back and forth. Get used to that accent back and forth. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and slowly bring your weight to your back foot, lifting the front heel so that we have all of the focus on that front hip. Very common arm position with this movement is for the back arm to be lifted. So the same arm as the standing leg, and then the arm over the hip that's working, the hip that's lifted is going to be extended. So we're making a frame, bringing attention to this side of our body. We can go up, 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 or down, 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 down. Now that our legs are super warmed up, we are going to take it back to the first move and focus in more on the shimmy technique, since this is one of the most important movements in this dance. And it's one that I've seen through my years of teaching all over the world always happens to be one of the most difficult moves for people to master. So let's go back. Let's go back to having both feet on the floor, even weight front and back of the foot, that lift and open in the front of the hips, extension and relaxation in the back and in the back of the legs. And we're gonna go back into our up and down, up and down. Now, the biggest mistake people make when they try to do this move for the first time and don't understand the body mechanics is they try to shake from their waist. Kind of like a hula hoop motion. When you hula hoop, you kind of move and circle from your waist like this. We don't have a lot of isolation in this move. So what happens? People go like this instead of isolating vertically into the hips. So I want you to really focus on that as we drill this move. Focus on even weight in the feet, that lift in the front of the belly, relaxation in the low back, and that vertical movement. It's gonna be a fairly small move. But if I look at myself in the mirror to the side, I kind of want to see my legs passing each other. 1, 2, so that I have a big enough movement that I'm going to see that vertical lift in each hip back and forth. So without trying to snap it or make it a really hard move, I want you to do very soft and make it a little faster. You can even put your hands here in the front of your hip, again, just to make sure that you're getting that vertical movement and not a side to side swing of the hips. We're going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yes, keep lifting in the belly. And as you do this movement, keep checking in with your weight on your feet. Even weight front and back, and relax in the glutes, relax in the back of the legs. We have a couple different shimmies, but the biggest thing to master is that relaxation. We also have a vibration shimmy, and this is where our muscle engagement becomes really important. Try speeding up a little more. We're still going. So my basic shimmy is very relaxed. I'm relaxed in my glutes, I'm relaxed in my hips. I'm powering the movement from my thighs and holding with my low belly to keep my pelvis in the right place. In contrast, our vibration shimmy is coming from muscle tension and muscle contraction. So I imagine that I have $300 bills for this shimmy. One goes here in between the thighs, and then I put one each under my booty cheeks. What I try to do is come back to that same movement we were doing before, but I want you to squeeze those 3 points, squeeze those $300 bills, and continue trying to move the legs. So muscle tension and relaxation completely changes the way that we shimmy. So we can say these are two base shimmies that people do, a big relaxed hip shimmy and a tight, tiny vibration shimmy. It's very important that we practice both of these techniques. Now let's move on to our next move. Let's leave the legs alone for a little bit, and we are going to learn a different way to move our hips. We are going to move a little more into our side abdominal muscles, and we're going to do a hip slide. So this is a different movement for the pelvis to make. We were making a really vertical movement in our hips. Now we're going to make a horizontal slide. So my feet are in the same position, pelvis is in the same position. I have nice even weight. I have that nice lift up and in here. And now what I'm going to imagine is that someone is pushing my hip. And as this happens, I'm contracting a little bit into my side muscle. You could think about it like someone's pushing you, or you could think about like you're trying to get away from someone pinching you. So it's not a whole body weight shift to one side. It's a contraction of the oblique to slide the hips over to the side. As I'm doing this movement, my knees stay the same. So I'm not bending and straightening to push my hip anymore. I'm keeping my knees even and I'm shifting my weight, and all of that movement is coming here from my side muscles. So when we're practicing in the mirror, the main thing you want to look for is, again, this line of the hips. Now we want it to go straight across, straight across. So from the last movements, we were really looking for this straight up and down. Now we're looking for a straight across, smooth slide. And like I said, you will feel your weight shift from one foot to the other, but I'm not straightening my leg as my weight shifts. I'm keeping even weight on my feet. My knees are staying relaxed and still, and I'm trying to feel that movement from here. Another thing you can do to find your oblique muscles is you can put your finger here at your waist and try to use those muscles to pull your finger in and crease at the waist. We want to get this activity coming from here. This is another place where our position of our spine and our pelvis becomes really important, because the more we're arched in the back, when we do this move, we're going to feel our low back. But if our pelvis is dropped right under the chest, we're lifted and open in the hips, now we're going to feel this in the belly muscles, which is where we want to feel it. Okay? So slide, 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 slide. Trying to keep the arms, again, when we're lifting them, we're keeping them a little bit in front of our body, not to the side, because we don't want to push our shoulders up like you're hugging a big ball in front of you. And then if you want extra stability in the upper body, you can even imagine beach balls under the arms, and I'm squeezing those beach balls to make a little bit of tension that lifts my chest and helps keep me a little bit still in my upper body as my hips shift back and forth. So the ultimate goal here is being able to do this move without the upper body shifting or reacting to the hips. Just for fun, try it a little faster and smaller and sharper. So just like the accent, we go quickly into the move and then we hold for just a second. 1, 2, 1, 2, to add extra tension. And as you do this version of the move, you will definitely feel more work in the abdominals. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Shake it out. We are going to be using this to create our next few movements. So let's start building with this new foundational move. We are going to do another iconic move, which is the hip circle. Again, many different techniques. I'm going to be using one of my favorite techniques that I use the most, which is kind of an Egyptian style hip circle. So we start with making 4 points, like a diamond. 1, 2, 3, 4 with our body. The sides of that diamond are going to be the slide. Slide, slide. So using the waist to slide the hips side to side. The front and back of that diamond are going to be a little bit of a bend and straighten to send the pelvis front and back. So to the back, I want you to crease at your hips, keep the knees fairly straight, and we're just gonna hinge to let the hips come back, and the chest is gonna come forward to counterbalance so we're not losing our weight back into our heels. I come to neutral, and then keep your belly engaged, keep this area open, and bend slightly to push the hips forward without putting all of that pressure in the back. Belly in and forward with the thighs, and hinge backwards. We go 1 and 2, okay? So I want you to connect those 4 points. We go to the side, bend to come forward, slide to the side from your waist, and hinge to push the hips back. We slide side, bend forward, slide side, hinge to the back. Let's try. 1, 2, 3, 4. As we keep going, we're smoothing out the transition between those 4 points. So we're starting to form the circle, but we don't want to cut off any one of those points. Okay, so even movement to each point. Keep the chest lifted, keep the arms open away from the hips, and we're going back, side, front, side, back, side, front, side. Try the other direction. Front, side, back, side, front, side, back, side. The knees are soft, they're not locked. The knees should be reacting to our hips moving from one position to the next. So the knees are very soft, they're very relaxed. They're gonna move wherever they need to, however they need to let our hips do the movement that we want. Okay, try a couple more. And back, and front, and back. Try to keep your head and your upper body in the same place as your hips circle around underneath. Great. Our next movement also involves these muscles and starts with the slide. We are going to be doing a vertical figure 8, aka infinity shape. We make this shape a lot in belly dance in all different directions, in all different sizes, and we use different technique for a lot of them. But this is my base movement. So it's going to be a vertical figure 8. We want to start with that same slide, and all we're going to add to this is a lift. So bring your weight onto one leg, and I want you to think about those oblique muscles contracting to close the hip to the rib cage and down. Now what you'll notice is as I do this, I'm lifting my heel. So I'm letting my side muscles pull my hip and my whole leg and foot up and down. So I'm gonna get a full range of motion with my side. Up and in and down and out. Up and in and down and out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Try it on the other side. And again, always keep checking back in with your posture. If you're feeling any of these moves in your low back, readjust, take a shake out, and make sure that you're using your core and lengthening and relaxing your low back. So here, I'm using my side muscles again to pull my hip and my whole leg and foot up and into the side and down. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, and slide, 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 slide. So let's go ahead and try putting these two movements together. I want you to slide out from this side, so all my weight is on this side. Now I'm going to lift with that oblique muscle, my side abdominals, lift and slide it to the other side and put it down. So I'm just adding a lift on top of the slide. So I'm going lift and slide at the same time. Up and over, down. And what we're doing is we're tracing this infinity symbol with the hips. The hip goes up and over, down and through to the other side. Up and over, down and through. We go 1, 2, 1, 2. This one, again, like the slide itself, you're really gonna start feeling it in the belly. And again, we're not locking back into the knees. We're not arching into the back. We're really trying to work in those abdominal muscles to get this lift of the hips. All right, this is a super popular move and very fun. You can even try bringing your arms up and tracing your body down as you do the move. If I want to see my hips a little more defined, I slide my feet closer together and do the same movement. So try it out. You can even try a little faster and slower as you practice this move. 8s are super fun. 8/infinity. In different parts of the world, we have different names for this movement in particular. Great. Let's try the next one. I hope you're enjoying the class so far. If you like learning with me and you're interested in a more structured way to add practice into your routine, I humbly invite you to join my online dance studio. We have a huge library of pre-recorded dance classes for all levels, including a comprehensive beginner's course where we're breaking down many of these same foundational steps, putting them into combos and eventually into a choreography. So if you're interested in joining me, you can go ahead and check the link in the description. Now let's take it up into the chest. Until now, we've been working with our hips, but as you probably know already, we have many other movements that involve the belly, that involve the chest and the shoulders. We're gonna do a chest lift and drop. This is going to be the first move where you really start isolating into the front of your belly muscles to create a movement. Now, again, different ways to do this move. A lot of people do this move automatically from their back. If they want their chest to move, they automatically hinge at the back. But the problem with this technique is it's not very isolated. You can see a lot of the movement kind of going through the shoulders, and there tends to be a lot of tension in the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back when using this technique. I like to use a really controlled and isolated lift and drop of the chest that has a lot more to do with my belly muscles. This movement might be a little bit harder, but I'll give you the foundational steps that it takes to build this strength and coordination. So first thing, back is straight. So we're not going to be arching and curling our back for this movement. You can even practice this move with your back against a wall. It might be helpful just to isolate the spine. So bring your hands on your belly. And the first thing I want you to do is take a deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, feel your lungs filling, feel the ribs opening and lifting, and feel the stomach stretch. Try to relax your shoulders back as you do this. Keep your head and your shoulders and your back in the same line. So as you relax, try not to drop your head and your shoulders front. We're going in and out. As we do this movement, our body naturally does two things. Usually, our body is contracting, the front of our abdominal muscles are stretching and lifting, and my rib cage is opening up to the sky like this. This creates a lift in the chest that has nothing to do with the back, okay? So I want you to do the same move on an inhale and exhale. Then hold your breath and try to do the same movement one time with no air in the lungs. So I'm gonna go. All right, shake it out. Make sure you don't get lightheaded. If you feel lightheaded by restricting your breath, make sure to just take a deep breath a couple times and take your break from the movement. So this is just an exercise to find the muscles that I use for my chest lift. I will feel a little bit of engagement in my back, specifically to keep my shoulders down and my chest lifted. But most of the power for my chest lift is coming from my abdominals lengthening and my ribs opening and closing. 1, 2, 1, 2. This technique will give you a super isolated movement, and it makes it easier later on to layer this movement on top of other moves. Next, we have the body wave or undulation. This movement, again, we can do in a lot of different ways. We can isolate it into different parts of the torso. Some undulations are more in the hips, some are more in the chest. But today, just to get us started out, we're gonna do a more full body movement, rolling all the way from the chest down into the hips. Now, you can use a wall, but if you're not, I want you to imagine a wall behind you, maybe just a few inches behind your back. I want you to start with that lift of the chest that we just did. So I'm engaging my belly, lengthening and lifting and opening my ribs. And then what I'm going to imagine is that I'm leaning back until my shoulders meet that wall. So I'm doing a little bit of an upper back arch. And then to make this a nice abdominal movement, section by section, we're going to roll through the abdominals as if we were rolling our spine down to the wall behind us. So I'm gonna lift, and then I'm going to put my shoulders back on the wall and then contract upper abs, middle abs, lower abs, and release. Now, what you'll notice I did just now is I bent my knees as I was doing the movement. This allows us to work and roll more as we get into the low belly and the pelvic section of the undulation. Bending the knees allows us to curl the low back and get some really deep low belly engagement on that roll down. So I'm going to lift up, shoulders back, and then imagine rolling, contracting in to push our spine back to the wall. And then I'm going to use that lift from my belly, my chest to bring me all the way back up so I can start again. Shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back, touch the wall, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our goal with this move is to sequentially roll through our spine, but motivate that movement from the abdominals. A lot of people learn this movement, take a little shake out. A lot of people learn this movement pushing out and forward, which is a different technique. But for me personally, I have a really strong connection with my abs when I do my dance technique. When we push forward from our back, we could do the body wave without ever using the abdominals, just contracting in the back to push the body forward. So this technique of thinking about rolling down to a wall really makes us use the abdominal muscles as the motivating factor in our body wave, body roll, undulation, whatever you want to call this movement. So again, try it on the wall a few times. It's nice to have the feedback. And shake it out. We just have one more move to learn, and then we're going to try dancing a little bit. For our last move, we are just going to be learning our first super easy bit of footwork, and we're going to try to add a little hip movement on top of it. So this is called a step touch. You use this from basic to advanced dance with so many different variations on top. This foot movement we use moving around the floor, turns into a turning move. We layer all these different chest, belly, and hip movements on top. So it's a good one to learn early on. So what are we doing? We're stepping with a flat foot and we're tapping with the ball of the other foot. Now, what I want you to focus on here is not to go 1, 2. So what did I do? I put the ball of my foot and then I just put my heel down. We want these to be 2 different steps. We want to tap, lift, and then step with a flat foot, lift the opposite foot. Tap and step, and tap and step, and tap and step, and tap and step. We go 1, 2. Again, try not to lock your legs back. Try to keep that open pelvis forward and try to keep the weight even on the foot when you step onto one foot. 1, 2, 1, 2, step and tap and step and tap. Now let's add our hips, okay? We're gonna come back to our hip push. We're gonna go step and tap, push the hip up and relax down to neutral. Step and tap, push up and neutral. Step tap, push, and step, tap, push, and step, tap, push, and. If you want to add a little bit to this move, we can bend the arm that we're stepping the same foot onto, step, to make that frame for the hip push. Step, change, push with the hip. Step, push, step, push, step, push, step, push. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now try smoothing out the transitions a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Try speeding it up. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, or without the arms. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that we have a good base of moves, let's try dancing together. Let's start all the way back with our hip accents. Lifting the arms again in front of the body so we can relax the shoulders down. Just a little lift and open in the hands, and try to shake out your upper body and lift the head up and out of the shoulders. 1, 2. Just a couple more, just to get ourselves warmed up. Now, let's try our lift. Lift, 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 step. Lift, 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 step. Try to bring the arms into it. 3, 4. Lift, 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 step. Lift, 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 step. Lift, 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 step. Now slide. You can let your hands be relaxed to the side of the body. Now circle front, circle back. I like to open my arms and then close. Circle, 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 circle. And slide again. 2, 3, 4. Slide, 2, 3, 4. Slide, 2, 3, 4. Now step, tap, step, tap, step, tap. Try to get that hip on top of the tap, and if you can, add in the arms. Step, tap, and push the hip. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and body wave. Nice and slow. All the way up and down. Now, let's go into our vertical figure 8. Nice and slow. I like to bring my hands in next to my body. Now let's try to make a couple little simple combinations. Let's circle front, back, and push. 2, 3, 4. Circle front and back and push. 2, 3, 4. Circle. 2, 3. Other side. Push. 2, 3, 4. Circle. 2, 3, 4. Push. 2, 3, 4. Circle. 2, 3. Try it one more time. Push. 2, 3, 4. Circle. 2, 3, 4. Let's go back into our accents and speed them up a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do our accents for 4 times and then do a big body wave. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to down. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, up to down. Just a couple more of this combination, then we'll try something else. Now let's try circle and chest. Circle and chest. We circle the hips front, back, chest up, up. Circle and up, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and shimmy. And post. There we have it. Those are some of my favorite foundational moves that I use to build the rest of my dance technique. Now, you can join a bunch of our different classes. We have fun different classes on technique and some choreography, and another class, especially if you're starting in this dance form that you might be interested in, is a class on the things I wish that I had known when I was starting. This is going to help you with your mindset. It's going to help you kind of plan out a strategy for your learning so that you can improve quickly and have fun in the process of learning. Let me know in the comments which one of these moves you enjoyed the most and which you found the most challenging, and I will see you in the next video tutorial.